NTNA Challenge 7, The Big Apple, sponsored by Gel 2.
Hi guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you Challenge 7. That's right, we made it all the way through to Challenge 7 of NTNA Season 7. 7-7, hey look at that. And this one is going to be sponsored by Gel 2, and they wanted us to create a design inspired by their new New York collection using those colors. And I used every single one of them in this design, which is something that I didn't even realize until I went to start making the video. I'm like, hey, I actually got them all done. So that was something that I thought was kind of cool. And all the colors have wonderful different New York themed names like Times Square and Staten Island and such. I hope you guys like this as much as I do. I created a New York skyline and the Statue of Liberty, which seeing the Statue of Liberty when I was 12 was something that I will always remember. So I wanted to commemorate that. And don't forget to click vote on Monday. I will put a link in the description box when it's available, and I will hopefully see you guys next week as well.
Create a sunset background with a gradient of the color Staten Island mixed with white, Staten Island, and Queens. Start with a color blocking technique, then blend the colors together with a soft brush. It's very easy to create fluffy clouds with white gel polish. Apply the gel in swirling strokes, then diffuse the hard lines with a brush dampened in isopropyl alcohol. Take your time while you're working on the clouds. It's very easy to take too much gel off during the diffusing process. If this does happen, feel free to add and remove product until you're 100% happy with the result. Create a gradient on the clouds as well. Start by adding Greenwich Village at the highest clouds, and then use brighter colors, Times Square, and Fifth Avenue as they go lower. Just like with the white, soften the lines with alcohol. This will allow some of the white to show through, giving the clouds a realistic fluffiness. Add a shadow to each cloud to deepen the design with a thin black line. Blend that out with alcohol as well. Paint the Manhattan skyline with the color Manhattan. Start by creating clean outlines and then use the bottle brush to fill in the buildings. At this point, my tips are not connected, and that leaves you the option of perfecting each nail separately. Lighten the color Manhattan and use that medium gray to highlight the buildings that you do not intend to make three-dimensional. Lighten the color Staten Island, Times Square, Soho into pastels and use those new colors to add the brightly lit windows. Don't feel obligated to only use one color for windows on each building. Switching up the color gives the mural a bit more realism. Adding smaller details on the building with black lines and finish them with white highlights down the sides of each building. Fill in the rest of the tips with black and finish the design with matte top coat. With clear 4D gel, sculpt the water platform over a template. In order for the boats to move later on, there needs to be a middle section and a frame. When you're sculpting, be very cautious that they do not touch. Use your gel brush to clean up the lines and lay a piece of plastic wrap over the water. Manipulate the plastic into a wrinkled, wavy pattern and cure with the plastic in place. Then when you're all done, gently remove it by tugging on the edges until it's released. Assemble the water onto the skyline with more of the 4D gel. Paint the water with the colors Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens, like the mural was reflecting on the water. Only apply one coat of the water so the texture from the gel underneath shows through. Then with your pastel mixes, create the reflection of the lights on the water as well. Add dimension to the remaining buildings with clear 4D gel, then paint them in the same way as the buildings in the mural. Darken the edges of the buildings to make them stand out even more from the flat art. Create a lined trees between the buildings and the water. Pro tip, use a toothbrush dipped in 4D Gel Sculpting Solution to add texture to the trees. Use a clean, new toothbrush that you have dedicated for nail art. Paint the trees with dark green gel. Press the color onto the 3D art to try to avoid any puddles in the color that could flatten the texture. Use the cap of a gel polish bottle to help bend the wire into a long oval that fits into the space left carved out in the water. Once the shape is right, secure the wire in place with 4D gel. Build up Liberty Island in an oval of clear 4D gel, then build up a cube for the base of the statue. Mix some dark green gel polish into extreme white 4D gel to make a minty patina that the Statue of Liberty is known for. Press the gel mix into a narrow straw, cure the gel in the straw, and then peel away the plastic. This will give you a base to sculpt the rest of the statue on. Attach the statue base to the cube, then build up the details of the statue layer by layer. Sculpt the wrinkles in the material, continually monitor the design from all sides to ensure that the statue is the proper shape. Add her details like the tablet, outstretched arm, torch, facial features, and crown. As you're working, if any of the elements need a little bit more structure underneath, you can add a bit of wire for strength. If needed, carve away extra gel with your e-file in a teeny tiny bit. I defined her jawline in this way. Did you know that the amount of copper in the Statue of Liberty is enough to make 30 million pennies? And it's really only about the thickness of 2 pennies stacked. Use the green you used to make the minty color to add the shading on the statue. If the color is too pigmented, dilute it by mixing in some diamond finish top coat. Paint Liberty Island with dark green and the base with brown. Add some highlights on the base with Brooklyn, so you're going to detail the arches and the crevices on the base, and add some shading with black. Then add a few dots of Times Square so that they will glow under the black light. Sculpt your sailboat and ferry with layers of extreme white 3D gel. Don't try and sculpt the entire shape at once because it will not fully cure. It works much better to do it layer by layer. Then attach a little flag to the ferry, and it's time to paint the boats. On the ferry, add rows of windows so that all the tourists will have a view of the statue. Paint the flag with the colors Staten Island and Soho. Use a really thin brush to paint the straight red lines. Then label the ferry Statue Cruises with black paint. Cut the sails for your sailboat out of a piece of gel polish material and attach them with diamond finish top coat. Add the stripe on the boat with the color Staten Island and then a few little black windows. Name your boat. I went with a simple NYC. Create a thin rectangle of clear 40 gel on a nail form backing and cut the rectangle into strips, then bend the nail form and cure it bent. Paint the U shapes so that they blend in with the water and attach them together with a piece of thread. Attach the boat to 2 of the U's with clear 4D gel and you're all set. I absolutely love this design. I spent a summer in New York with the summer I turned 12, and the Statue of Liberty is always something that has stuck out in my mind. It's so magnificent. You have no idea unless you have seen it, and it just seems like one of those iconic images that just sticks out in everyone's mind when they think of New York City. I also want to mention that the colors Times Square and Fifth Avenue glue beautifully under a black light, so I couldn't help but include that little element in my design so that the clouds looked like they really were glowing in the sunset, and the little bit of flame on her torch and then inside the base also looked like it was illuminated. I love that detail. I wish I caught it better on camera, but you did get to see it. If you guys love this design as much as I do, please don't forget to vote on Monday. It's really getting down to crunch time now, so I'd really, really appreciate it. And you don't know, maybe I'll be back next week too. Bye!